Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith and I'm excited to be doing another unboxing for Dinosaur Island. This one is for the Xtreme edition of the expansion called Totally Liquid. This was a game designed by Jonathan Gilmour, Brian Lewis, and Ian Moss. And this particular product is published by Pandasaurus Games. Now on the channel recently we did an unboxing of the core game experience. I was excited as right on the very front of the box there it says, includes solo game mode. So this is the exact same stamp you're seeing on the Totally Liquid version as well. So excited to see what is going to be added into the core game experience through this expansion. The crazy thing is the box size of this Totally Liquid expansion is basically the exact same size as the core box. So there's going to be a decent amount of content in here. But for you guys out there, be sure to do your research in between the Xtreme edition and any retail editions you find, because there may be differences. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead now, flip this box over on its back, take a look at the exterior of the box, read a little bit about it, and then we'll crack into it and see it up close. All right, and here is a look at the back of the box. It says right here, the follow-up to the smash hit Dinosaur Island. It comes with a Mega Rex plastic dino. That thing looks really cool. 96 more plastic dinos included in this thing. That's crazy. Plastic baby dinos included. You got dino eggs, you've got plastic goats, you've got more transparent amber dice, park facilities and executives, blueprints, a new 5th player module. That's a ton of really cool stuff. That is all detailed out right here. So I'll just go ahead and read the small paragraph above it, because most of what I just pointed out here are the new additions in this expansion. It says right at the very top here, strap in and hold tight. Dinosaur Island is about to get radically wilder. You're holding the key to unlocking the latest, most thrilling exhibits in Dino Park history. Enter the land of Totally Liquid and discover all of this stuff on the back of the box. And of course, it's got a listing of the game components. It's got the fact that it includes a solo game mode right here again on the back of the box. Really excited to dive into this. So we're going to flip it back over. I'm going to show you the UV spotting on the front, because that is very similar to how they did it with the original base game, at least with the Xtreme edition anyway. I'm not sure if the retail edition removes the UV spotting or not. That might be a Kickstarter only thing. So here is another look at the very front cover of this Dinosaur Island Totally Liquid box, and absolutely looks awesome. There is UV spotting on it, so I'm going to do my best to kind of hit some of the angles of that UV spotting with the lighting. You can see it's mainly around the trim of the box, but there are some parts within the actual box design that are that have that UV spotting on them. It looks really, really cool, even all the way up to the actual title as well, which is awesome. So again, that just kind of follows what they did with the core game for the Xtreme edition. And now we get to see the inside of the actual box, where we're seeing the rulebook first off. So we might as well go through here and just take a look at the layout of this one. I imagine it'll be much lighter than the original one was. Mostly, again, graphics wise, this thing is very, very visual and colorful. So you'll notice that right out of the gates. You can double check that you have every single component that should come in this game based on these first 2 pages you run into. You've got an introduction up top here telling you the expansion gives you and all the different additions to that particular. And actually, just looking at this now, just glancing over the amount of stuff in this, it looks ridiculous. Like, there's a ton of stuff in here. Most expansions would add just a small handful of things. This really looks like it really does bolster the game to the next level, which is pretty cool. And the fact it has like 96 more dinosaurs is nuts. So below this thing here, we have official changes and variants. So that's really cool. I guess different ways that you can play the game. Lab upgrades, things like that. New specialists, new DNA dice, new plot twists, new dino recipes. Module 1 for the 5th player if you want to play with 5 players. On the other side here, we have Module 2, Marine Creatures. Module 3 is Park Facilities and Executives. So all these modules are the new modules being implemented within this expansion. They're being detailed out, but you can see they take about half of about a page basically to explain, which is nice. Should be able to get them implemented pretty easily. Mode number 4 right here is PR events, talks about how to draft them, how to resolve them, and all of that's detailed here. It looks really, really good. Again, artwork throughout. The blueprint scoring chart is right here. It has the Module 5 for blueprints. So again, something I'm not familiar with 100%, but there we go. You got some match zones, bonus VPs, so another way to get potentially more points. Reference facilities, so maybe this just comes down to any type of reference you need in order to look things up for facility-based information. I'm not too sure, but it is a reference, so I'm going to go with that. And yeah, it does actually look like it references a number of the different type of tiles that might be coming in this one that are from not in the base core game, which is like Fantasy Island, Parks and Rec, Petting Zoo, into, goat pen, all that kind of stuff, reptile resort. Really, really cool. The reptiles look like they actually come with some black cubes too, so that's maybe that represents them. That's kind of cool. And then you get to the credits, and that's it. So something you can definitely chew through quite easily. Again, the artwork on the book, no matter where you look, is always really awesome. Love it. The style is great. After this, we're going to dive into another sheet here that I'm not too familiar with. This one says Totally Liquid Xtreme. These are the new components. So I guess this really is just, again, re-emphasizing the components that are coming in this thing. So again, the upgrades that you get from this one, probably in this Xtreme edition, are detailed here. So you can see that instead of taking or having 8 plastic baby dinos in a token form, you're getting them in plastic form. So it's showing you how all these things are being upgraded, which is really, really cool. That's a really nice reference, and also useful for you guys to see the differences between likely the Kickstarter version or the Xtreme edition and the retail one. And then here we get into all of the tiles. All right, so here is an up-close look at the very first tile. We have incubation tracks in the top left. It's a dino incubator. We have a reptile resort on the right there. Different types of dinosaurs to add in, which is really cool. Again, all this stuff I'm gonna have to become familiar with. The petting zoo, the executive suite is in there. We got DNA refinement. So really, really cool. If I flip these over, you'll see the opposite side. Now, I think facilities are totally brand new from this Totally Liquid expansion. I don't believe I had these in the core game experience when I unboxed it, but these for sure just didn't have marine creatures from my understanding. So again, adding a whole bunch of new different types, which is really awesome. So that's one of those done. The next one here has the Mega Rex pen in the top left. That's awesome. I can't wait to oh, that's so cool. And then you got the goat pen over here on the far top right. Some more new dinosaurs to add in. I'll just try to zoom in on those so you guys can actually see them. And down below, we got the DNA Dice Dash. We have the tool benches. We have Fantasy Island. 1 dino recipe tile can go here. Interesting. Executive Suite again attached. If we flip this over, again, you can see that those bigger ones are for the facilities. We got some more marine creatures, tool bench, all that good stuff. Some more tokens to look into. Oh my goodness, look at this. We got ourselves the casino up top here, as well as the executives. Wow, an inactive spot. I wonder what that does. That's kind of different. Executive suites, got some coins here. Of course, I don't need those because I have the actual legitimate money coins, but those are cool nonetheless. Some more tool bench options. That's pretty. A Hooligan Havoc. I wonder if that's in regards to those guys that just come into your park and cause problems, if that kind of ramps things up that way. That's kind of cool. So here's the backside of that particular token board. So again, there's quite a bit here in this expansion. And as you can see, it punches out quite easily as I've just snapped one of the facilities out. I think there's still 2 or 3 more left here. This is different for sure. This has to be all based in the water. So these are all the marine creatures, obviously, that you can have pens for. So you got the Fantasy Wild tile in 3D up at the top. That's pretty cool. Nice. The massive shark. Yes, Shark Week is coming to mind. And you've got all kinds of other stuff here, like Fantasy Tacos, Fantasy Dino Ride, Fantasy T-shirts. This is ridiculous. There's so much stuff here. It's crazy. This is going to be really cool to implement all this stuff. Here's the back side of this token board. I cannot wait. Next up here, we got more dinosaurs. So again, these are probably relating back to those new dinosaurs that are in this particular one. I think I have this upside down, but I'm not sure. And then we got some more pens for the marine animals. Again, because I have this Totally Liquid one in this Xtreme edition, most of these tokens here for some of the dinosaurs, like this guy down here in the bottom right, and the goats and whatnot, I think in the eggs, I actually have legitimate miniatures or plastic tokens for, instead of just the cardboard tokens. So that's kind of the bonus of getting that. Here's a phase 1 board. So again, I'm not sure. This one might be because of the 5th player situation. So there is a phase 1 board. Or maybe actually it's a new phase 1 board because marine creatures are now involved when they weren't before. So that would make a lot of sense. So there's that. After this, we've got another one here, phase 2 for Totally Liquid. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. It's craziness. Phase 5 cleanup phase. Yeah, so the cleanup section, they did mention that on the back of the box, that there was kind of additional points to be gained from a clean park. So that's kind of cool. Under construction zone, specialists. So these boards are more flushed out, I'm guessing, than maybe the core box experience. Maybe they replaced the ones in the core box. Someone can let me know in the comments. I'm guessing that's the case. And then this one, of course, is the brand new. I love these recess boards. These are so awesome. Like, anytime a game has cubes, when they have recessed boards like this, I absolutely love it. It's just so easy to organize things, keeps things in exact spots where you put them. And of course, if you bump the table, you don't have to worry about things flying all around. But this is another corporation that you can basically be to add that 5th player in. So very familiar to the very original game in terms of that. And I'll show you guys the artwork actually on the back as well, because it does give you artwork specific to the corporation that you've chosen on the back, which is nice. Next up, we got phase 4. So another board here, and I'm guessing this is because of the fact that you need that one for a 5th player. So another board for somebody else to take over. And of course, there it is there. There is the corporation that ties in with it and the artwork. So the first thing that's worth looking at is this cardboard punch out that seems to already be punched out for me. So this must be something special. Yeah, a Pandasaurus. So of course, this one is specific and probably an exclusive from the publisher itself. That's really cool. So one to add into the herbivores. And then of course, maybe this is a starting player token, I'm guessing. I'm not too sure. It's just basically a totally liquid Xtreme token for some reason. Could be a first player token. I'm not 100% sure, but I will double check that later. We have dice. So we're familiar with the dice. I couldn't tell you because I haven't got the original core game to the table just yet after unboxing it just recently. Whether these are any different or not. I do know that this one die in here is called a threat die, and it's for use with a new plot twist. So I think this orange die is brand new, but the yellow ones are just more of the dice that we're familiar with from the original base game. So more dice because likely if you're playing with a 5th player, you would need the extra dice. So there's some extra dice involved there. These are amazing dice, by the way. They look absolutely awesome. I'll try to get that to focus in for you guys, because the detail on the dice or on the die on this one you're looking at is really cool. I love the transparent look of these dice, and they're really high quality. They feel great to roll and everything. So love it. And then of course we've got this die here, which is the new threat die that correlates to a brand new threat within the game. Maybe they're more aggressive hooligans. Maybe it's a dinosaur based thing. Maybe it's disease. I have no idea, but that's always awesome to have another die specific to another mechanic added into the game. So 6 dice in total there. Moving right along to the cards, we have a couple packs of cards here. So this one here, and then this much larger pack of cards. So let's go ahead and crack into both of these. So this is a pretty cool addition to Totally Liquid, is the AI action deck, which I'm guessing has to do with the solo mode for all of the new introductions into this particular game. So that's awesome. If you flip this over, you'll see a bunch of cards that look like they predetermine what's going to happen. So this is the AI deck, of course, for this game, which will allow you to play in a solo capacity. So every single one of these cards will be flipped, and it'll tell you how things are going to shake out in each of the phases, as well as how many visitors are going to be eaten. And that number changes as the AI cards are rip through, and also the actual actions within each of the phases are also changing. So that's really cool. A nice easy way to rip through a solo game with this particular one. So those are the cards for AI action is what they're called here. And now we're going to get into the cards that are specific to all the wonderful modules within this game. There's a whole bunch of them. So these are plot twist cards. Of course, these will add to the plot twists that were from the core game. We've got module selectors, which allow you to, I believe, randomize which modules go into the game from the 5 or so that are in this. PR module right here. These are the backs of the cards, and they're not that exciting just yet, but I'll show you the fronts in a second. Specialist cards are next for another module. Executive cards right here. And then lastly, we've got the blueprint module right here. So blueprint module is pretty straightforward. You build a park, from my understanding, in a particular pattern, and basically as long as you do that, then you are able to accomplish that particular goal. That's my understanding. So you lay it out like this and you nail it. That's essentially the blueprint goal. If you're coming along through here to the executive goal, then you're really gunning to try and do something that a corporation would approve of, essentially. So you're trying to, you know, be a money bag. So basically just pull in a whole bunch of money or be really good at security, that type of thing. So you got objectives specific to those. We've also got some individuals called specialists. They're going to come into play in certain phases and potentially give you help, or VP, or not VP, my mistake, but some actual, well, actually, yeah, score 1 VP in this particular case. So victory points along the way. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got the PR ones, which I think are probably the most interesting. So this one says, like, end of game, score 6 victory points for each set of 1 herbivore, 1 small carnivore, and 1 large carnivore exhibit in your park. That's pretty awesome. So again, they're all pretty straightforward. It's not going to be mind-boggling to add these in. They're just going to allow for different ways to win the game. Then you got your module selector. So yes, I was 100% right that you can go ahead and randomize which modules get dropped in, whether it's facilities or blueprints or marine or PR events, whatever it is. You got a whole bunch. And then you got some plot twists here. Now I'm guessing one of these will have that die on it, potentially. Who knows? There it is. There's the die. This special die says, game setup, add the threat die to the dice pool. In phase 1, if unclaimed, this die is moved to the holding area along with the normal DNA die. All right, so I've gone ahead and I've broken out everything from that one bag into different compartments here so I can try to talk through them, although of course I may not be able to exactly know what each one of them are, but I will do my best to try to nail that down. So first off here, it looks like we've got some meeples that are going to correspond to the 5th player. And of course, just there to where my index finger is pointing currently, there are some research tokens, I believe these are called. So a couple of those that are going to go along with these meeples. We've got all kinds of dinosaurs here, just a crazy amount in a bunch of different colors. So first off, the cubes down here, not that exciting, but there's all kinds of different colors in this bag. We've got black ones now for the reptiles, is my understanding. I have no idea what the red or the green ones are off the top of my head, but more of them. Could just be bolstering what's already in that base game already. Next up here, we've got some executives. So, and what's really cool, I'm noticing, is that these are all fairly different, if not every single one of these are different. That's really interesting. So I'm guessing these executives correlate to the cards within that particular module. So that's really awesome. So I like that. I like that quite a bit. All right, so the next one over here, these must be the baby dinosaurs, but that's basically what you're getting. They're little tiny ones in comparison to the giant dinosaurs. And there's more of them. I just didn't put them all in my hand. So that is that bag resolved. Next up, we have this, which is the individuals or visitors to your park. So of course, because now you're going to a 5th player, I think they just bolstered this from the standpoint of making sure that the 5th player is able to have enough visitors and also hooligans and things like that that are going to be coming into your park and causing you grief. So a bunch more of those to add in. Next up, we're going to go to the dinosaurs. So these are the core ones that I definitely remember unpacking in the earlier unboxing. So again, there's more of them so that it can, you know, the 5th player has a chance to grab those. There's also these pink ones, which could potentially be completely different. And I'm not recognizing these ones as much as I was the ones just in my hand. And I'm also seeing the gigantic T-Rex in this thing. Look at the size of this guy. The big dinosaurs up in the top right-hand corner, like the massive one. Got a whole bunch of other ones in there. So many. Like if I just go ahead and pour these out, just a ridiculous amount. All kinds of cool dinosaurs to look at. So just a whole bunch of these things. So that's all of them. And then of course the blue ones are going to be the ones that are pertaining to the marine dinosaurs. So the marine-based dinosaurs are all blue, which makes perfect sense, but there is a ridiculous amount of them. All kinds of them, different shapes and sizes and all that kind of stuff, representing different marine dinosaurs, which are awesome, but there's just tons of them in this bag. No point in pouring that out because I think that would just become a gigantic mess. But that is it, guys. That is the whole box. That is totally liquid, completely unboxed. So many things to add into the core game here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was informative for you. And as always, keep on rolling solo.